Hello, my name is Alyssa, and today I will be talking to you about the GSI 61 audiometer. I'd like to familiarize you with some of the controls of this audiometer, as well as show you how to set up the machine for some of our common audiometric tests. First of all, here's the location of the power switch. Let's go ahead and turn the audiometer on. Let's look at some of the controls and components you will be using throughout your testing. Firstly, when using the GSI 61, you will wear this headset. This is important as it allows the tester to hear what the patient inside the booth is saying. It is also necessary so that the patient can hear instructions given by the clinician. Here, in the bottom center of our controls, is a button called Talk Forward. Anytime you wish to instruct or speak to the patient, simply hold this button down and speak. The volume of your voice in the patient's ears is set by this dial on the right-hand side of the audiometer labeled Talk Forward. Typically, you will want this dial set somewhere in the middle. If the patient indicates that they cannot hear you, check to see that this dial has not been turned down too low. Likewise, if you are too loud for the patient, you should turn the volume down. Directly above the Talk Forward button are two buttons labeled Frequency. These buttons are used for raising or lowering the test frequency during pure tone audiometry. On the left-hand side of the audiometer, you can see a large blue control. This knob can be turned to alter the presentation intensity of your test stimulus, whether tones or speech. As you turn this control, you can see the intensity level changing on the display. Near the intensity control is a long banana-shaped button. This is the presentation button. Holding down this button will play your stimulus, typically a beep or tone. Whenever you hold this button down, a speaker icon will be visible on the display. This indicates that a stimulus is being presented. Above the banana-shaped presentation button is another button labeled Interrupt. Pressing this button keeps the stimulus playing continually. We use the Interrupt button for speech testing so that we don't have to hold the presentation button down all the time. Instead, we can press Interrupt, and our stimulus will keep being sent through. As you can see, when we have pressed Interrupt, the speaker icon continually shows in the display. As we set up for each of our tests, there are a few testing variables that we must set. These include the transducer. Are we using phones or headphones or bone for bone conduction testing? Here in the shaded area labeled Channel 1, you can see these choices under Transducer. As you select each one, you will see the selection shown on the display. Also, in this shaded area, you can select your stimulus. If doing pure tone testing, you will want to select Tone. If doing speech testing, you will want to select Speech. Again, as you make this selection, you will see it on the display. One other factor that must be considered is routing. This simply means which ear that you are presenting the stimulus to, left or right. Now, let's go through our step-by-step instructions for each part of our test.